talking about the farm.
Okay.
Uh, when we first moved down to Lampasas County, we moved to a place across the field from the house we lived in for 14 years. And Dad always said 14 years to the day. But I don't remember anything about that first place because I probably was less than a year old when we got there. But after the year, and I don't remember where we lived when I had pneumonia the first time at 2 years old. But I had to learn to walk again after that. And that was a experience for Mother and Dad. They'd had lost all of their children, you know. And then here I came up with the pneumonia. So it was just one of those things that they just felt like they were, just couldn't hardly make it, you know. And, but I didn't remember that, but I remember as we moved from our house, from the house over on the east side of the field to the house where we lived, where we were going to live, or where we lived for 14 years. And as we went across there, the roads, the wagon would dip down, you know, over the road, and it just kind of kept it moving. The movement just, the angle Dad was driving across the field was kind of fun for me. I enjoyed it. And then I don't remember things right away about the other house, but one of the things that or some of the things that I remember, I'll say it that way, we had a cat, and this cat was, I don't know, I guess she was 4 or 5 years old, or maybe older, but she was a hunter. She'd go out and kill rattlesnakes, and she would pull them in so we could see she killed one. And Dad said, well, I don't know why she won't take it away now. I was just about big enough that I could pull him off back down in the field so the buzzards would eat him up. and but anyway, that was some of the remarks, or one of the remarks I remember Dad making about the cat bringing rattlesnakes in and showing them off for us, and then leave them laying there, see? Well, then and we didn't have a dog that would kill a snake, but we had a dog, Snowball. If he started barking, you knew there was, on the ground, you knew there was a snake there. So you could take a gun and shoot him. But he wasn't he didn't just go in like the cat did and kill him. He did. Um, oh, he didn't. But anyway. We had a pecan tree right in our backyard, and I remember one time we hadn't gotten any pecans in a year or so, and Dad went to the horticulturist, and he asked him wonder what was the matter with his tree. He wasn't getting any pecans. And he said, well, go over to the hardware store and buy you 20 cents worth of 20 penny nails and take them out there and let your boy drive them in the tree. Said just kind of sprinkle them around, all around it, you know. And so he said that would start them growing again, as they haven't got any iron. So I got a job then driving nails in a tree. But it worked. We had pecans next year. And I don't know, I don't remember driving nails in another one, but or in that one again. But the tree would just grow out all the way around it, you know. So that way you couldn't hardly tell whether it was which year, you know, that you started it. But anyway, that was a good thing that we learned about that. And then when Dad bought old Joe, he thought he had another animal that he could use to plow, but he found out after he'd gotten him and had tried to use him as a plow out of mow for about a month, he was getting skin and bones. He just couldn't handle pulling the plow. So that could have stopped you being used for that. We just had an extra animal that we'd use for going wherever we needed to go. If he just needed a few things from town, well, he'd go up on the horse. But and he could trot and go to town pretty fast. And but if we went in a wagon, the other team goes a lot slower. They walk and not go into trot, you know. Now riding in the buggy, you get a trot out of it. So, but that was pretty good. But and one of the things that I remember we used to do, there's a bend, a kind of a horseshoe bend like in Lampasas River that it just kind of went in almost like an S and then straightened out again. But about that S shape there was a nice place to have a little park in there, and we'd have we built the men built we'd cut some trees that had forks so they could lay trees on limbs on top of that, and we'd throw a lot of brush up there on top, and that'd make a arbor or a shade for us to have picnics, and we'd have preaching services in there, and they had some. I'm not sure what kind of light it was now, but lights that had a tank up here that would hold about a half gallon of oil, and then it come down and had the wicks down below, so you could hang them up, and that'd give you light to light up the arbor. We'd have about 10 of those lights in there, and everybody'd have one so they could bring it, you know. And we'd have revival meetings that we'd meet down on the river, and sometimes some people would go down there and stay for 2 weeks, just camp out, you know. But that was really interesting, and it was something as far as we were concerned as kids. It was fun for us, and I have to tell you about one preacher we had. He was a red, I don't remember now, but he was red-headed, and they called him Red. And he had a son that was just about my age, and he was sitting between two of the kids, and the next, I was one on one side of him, and I don't remember who was on the other side, but he was not doing just like he should have. And his daddy says, "Stop that." Pointed at him just like that, and it went on preaching. And in a few minutes, he walked down there, picked him up, gave him a paddling, and set him down. So I said, "Stop that."
In the middle of his sermon?
Huh?
In the middle of his sermon?
In the middle of the sermon. And he went back up there and finished his sermon.
Wow.
Oh, that scared me. And he was just about my size, you know. Oh. But that happened right in the middle of a sermon in the brush arbor. And I remember that we had a 2-room school, and during the on weekends, the people in the community would have Sunday school over there, and there's only 2 rooms, so you'd only have 2 classes. And the whole community would come out. So that would be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'd have That'd take about an hour and a half to